So when he says kuffar, he's talking about Christians.
But they're not allowed to ring the bell. And if a Muslim, he's walking by, let's say for example a Muslim's been on Edgware Road, for example, he's had some nice shisha, some nice steak, no hubble bubble, we don't deal with anything like that, and he's walking along and he's rubbing his belly and he's like, oh man, you know, I don't want to upset my wife tonight. What he can do, he can go to the church, knock on the door, John, let me in. Okay, no problem. John has to put up Abdul Ghafoor for the night. Abdul Ghafoor with his big belly, having his nice kebab, John has to open up the church and he has to go there and sleep there nice and comfortable and say, all right, John, thank you, and then carry on going early in the morning. Which wife is going to live with John under that type of circumstances? What kind of honoring is this for me to live with John and Abdul Ghafoor comes every Friday night and sleeps in our bed as well? Of course. Because sunnah is to look after the guest, innit? I can't make you sleep on my floor if you can't. You're a Muslim, by the way. So what about when Abdul Ghafoor goes to John's house? John, sleep on the floor, and I'll sleep on the bed.
You know what's the most disturbing thing about that speech? It's not even the level of ignorance that he's speaking from and the level of wickedness that he's speaking from. It's the fact that the people he is speaking to, they are laughing and they are enjoying hearing about this, which means that if they had the opportunity, they would enforce it. It's very clear, right? And it's crazy. It's crazy. But it gets a bit worse. It gets a bit weird now.
What's going to happen? Tracy's going to be on the floor thinking, my husband, he's got a forehead shaved, and this one, look to this one, khatab, mashallah. Which one's more attractive? We're not gay, I'm just saying. A man with his forehead shaved and one belt around his neck and two different coloured shoes, or Amir Khattab. Amir Khattab, we're talking about here now, with that nice Chechen hat, big beard, you know, a bit to the side, yeah? And he's got the badges there, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, yeah? And he's got a big gun, and he's got a big camouflage jacket on, nice boots, gloves as well. Even if he's got a couple of fingers missing, still looks attractive. Yeah.
Definitely not, mate. Definitely not. And you see how they visualize the man that they're talking about here? They visualize him in military clothing, with a gun, and that kind of personality. Why? If it was a peaceful society, why would anybody need to be walking around in military clothing? The society we're living in right now in the West, we walk around in any clothing we want, right? And we don't persecute people for what they wear, even if we disagree with what they wear. In their society, we're not even going to go there in this video, but they definitely don't let people wear what they want to wear.
Yeah. What's Tracy going to do? John's in for a problem. He just let him in for a kebab, he lost his own wife as well. So everyone's going to become Muslim. That is, my dear brothers, the Islamic State. The Islamic State.
And there you go. That's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. Share this video. Share it far and wide. Explain to people what is actually taking place in the West. And not in a hateful way. We're not calling for violence. We're not calling for anything bad. We're simply bringing awareness to what these people actually believe, right? And the politicians who don't want to acknowledge it, they need to be forced to acknowledge it, not by any violent way, but by